Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. So, Sensible Don, I missed the program director's meeting on Friday after the show because I just forgot.
Yes, you did.
So did the meeting go on without me?
Yes, it did. They had a meeting without you.
Do you have any tips for me that I need to follow?
Come to the next meeting.
All right. Is that next Friday?
Yes, every Friday, 9 o'clock. You think you can make it next week? Should I remind you?
You should remind me.
Yeah, I will. I will tell you, Bulldog. On your way out the door, I'm going to grab you by the neck, Bulldog. Come on, we got a meeting here.
Sensible Don, I have a major announcement to make.
I'm listening.
A formal invitation has been extended to the Bulldog Nation to join the Justice League in a battle to defeat the Legion of Doom. And a reception will be held at the Fortress of Solitude outside Metropolis later this week.
So we superheroes now?
Well, I don't know. We got the formal invitation.
Sounds good.
It said, come one, come all.
All right. So, I want to be a superhero.
I would like to just start out with the Jack Wagons.
Oh, we starting
and
out
the
on the right
Oracles.
foot? Okay.
I figured we'd start off the week harshly. The first Jack Wagon, Sensible Don, is going to be the NFL Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame?
The NFL Hall of Fame. Do you know who they left out?
Who?
Bill Parcells.
How?
Chris Carter.
Again, how?
Andre Reed.
Again, how? All these guys were superstars in their position.
Are you kidding me? Chris Carter is fourth on the NFL reception and yards and touchdown list.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
They but big fat guy linemen, Willie Roof. What the hell did he ever do?
They got to
Cortez Kennedy. What the hell did he ever do besides do a bad talk show host? I mean, I couldn't believe it.
So they missed the guys you thought should be in there.
We're going to get to that some more. I'm also going to Jack Wagon up the Ayatollah. You know, the Ayatollah is like making threats, calling Israel a cancer tumor.
Yes.
I don't like that.
That's bad news.
We also got a Jack Wagon up Susan G. Komen Foundation for having the spine of a snake. No spine. Reversing in like one day.
Well, they shouldn't have let the politician be in charge.
We also have to Jack Wagon up my wife's dream.
Uh-oh.
My wife announced to me Sunday morning that she had a dream, Sensible Don.
I'm listening.
That I was married to a fat, butch haircut woman named Colleen. I don't know where the hell she got all that. And I actually cheated on her with my first wife. So I was married to this Colleen, and I was fooling around with my first wife.
That's a pretty good dream.
After what she described, I could understand why I was fooling around.
You know what? All you have to do is worry about a Colleen walking into the studio.
Now, Sensible Don, on the Oracles, we have some fence mending to do.
Do we?
We have sent flowers and apology. You wanted to do the first ever preemptive Jack Wagon on Madonna. It was your idea to do it, Sensible Don. And I pleaded with you, we better wait. Right, TC?
That's right. I recall that.
So we Jack Wagoned up Madonna. It's the first ever preemptive. And after watching that halftime show, I'm like, are you kidding me? She's an oracle.
Well, you know what, though? Did she sing half the time?
I don't care if she sung or not sung. That was an outstanding halftime. That set was incredible.
It was a nice set.
And I even liked her new song. She sang 3 old ones, which I like.
What about the faux pas?
You mean the middle finger guy?
I missed that.
Well, who the heck? You know, the
that.
heck with them. That wasn't Madonna's fault.
Now, I didn't. Did you see it?
No, I didn't even see it.
I missed that completely.
I didn't see the show. I was in there eating chili.
I was watching that, but I didn't,
We also get to give an oracle to Eli Manning and the New York Giants.
Did a job.
Yeah.
They play in the same division as my Cowboys. You know, my Dallas Cowboys were 8-4, and the Giants were 6-6, and we played them, and we could have finished them off. But no, Tony Homo Romo has to screw it up.
Can't get the last one in.
You know, there's one more oracle.
Yeah, I tell you the other oracle. The other oracle is Mimi Alford, the JFK intern, which we'll learn more about later in the show.
Can't wait to get that book.
Oh, baby. Heck, I read the New York Post, and I was salivating.
Well, wait. Are you? There's one more.
Go. Who's the other one? Who's the other one?
Did you watch going in right at the first half, into the first half, the very first, that technology commercial, all the different technology, and then the announcer with the picture of green water?
Oh, yeah, the picture of green water, yes.
Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that, yes.
We'd like to thank our marketing team, Galvanized Associates, for getting that on for us. That broke the bank right there.
Yeah, I figured that's why we had no money.
I couldn't believe it.
Our marketing budget is blown to when? When are we going to have money for marketing now?
We're going to have a bake sale. We'll have maybe by the end of the week we'll have something.
You know, the Super Bowl, the Giants, of course, won 21-17. When the game comes down to Hail Mary pass on the final play in the end zone, that's a great game.
Right.
And I don't want to be Captain Obvious in my comments, but to defeat a team so well coached and quarterbacked as the Patriots is quite an accomplishment. You know, the Giants kind of repeated their 2007, you know, when they were actually a wild card. They just got on a roll. I mean, they just got on a roll. But the Giants are better coached and mentally tougher than most of the teams. Actually, this year, all the teams. They had injuries during the game, Sensible Don. They had 2 tight ends go down. They had others go down. They just kept winning. Right? They just kept winning. I suppose my respectful hatred for the Pats exceeds my respectful hatred for the Giants.
Is that
I'd never root for the Eagles, though.
Way to put that on.
Manning, MVP, 30 of 40, 296. Remarkable, no turnovers for either team.
Let me tell you,
there was almost some turnovers, though.
The most remarkable part of that game was a running back trying to make himself not score.
Yes.
He could not do it.
He couldn't help it.
I can't do it.
By the way, that was a smart move by Parcells. I mean, Belichick. I can't believe more teams don't do that more often.
Get it over with.
Because, sure, you know, there could be a muff snap. Right. There could be a missed field goal. But when you're that close, that's a chip shot. I'd rather have Brady with the ball with a minute left.
Right. I go along with that.
Let me see what else. The Super Bowl commercials. Here's my analysis. The Dorito ones were good. The Camaro one was the best. That guy freaking out. Will you marry me? Yes, I'll marry you. And the neighbor drive. That was best. The Bud Platinum, the Coke Polar Bears, the Elton John Pepsi, the Regis Pepsi. A lot of wasted money.
$3 million.
Those were bad.
You know, and Regis had signed we forged a letter of intent from Regis to be spokesman for Green Water. So I was a little upset to see him doing that Pepsi ad.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm glad he didn't do Green Water. He did not serve us well. I love the Clint Eastwood Detroit commercial. Chrysler. By the way, people were all worried, is he for Obama? He's for Obama. No. He's not for Obama. He was being paid by Chrysler to do a commercial, and it was a good one. The Toyota reinvented the Fiat model commercial, the Ferris Bueller. By the way, Matthew Broderick looked like Ferris Bueller. The Seinfeld Acura, the Optima, Career Builder Chimps, all solid. That's my commercial evaluation. Anything stand out with you guys?
The guy drinking the green water, he had a pitcher of green water, and he drank it. I couldn't believe that.
He can't help himself, can he, Don? It's green water. You have to admire his enthusiasm for our products.
Let him stay in his world. Green water.
I wonder what it costs us to have somebody drink the green. I mean, we never had a spokesman actually.
Well, the two women that drank the donkey semen are getting offers for porno movies.
Oh. Good morning, Cincinnati.
Seriously.
Somebody did that.
They did that.
On that Fear Factor?
On Fear Factor, but they didn't air it. They got, they said, we can't air this. Duh.
Wow.
Who thought of that idea?
Did they get paid?
No, let's go on to something else. I'm getting sick to my stomach.
Right.
NFL honors. Cam Newton was Rookie of the Year. Sorry, Andy. Alec Baldwin did a Tim Tebow, and Tim Tebow kind of showed him how to do it. MVP Aaron Rodgers. Breeze Offensive Player of the Year. Jim Harbaugh, the 49ers Coach of the Year, Stafford Comeback of the Year, and Suggs and the Ravens Defensive Player of the Year, and I was considered the Fan of the Year.
Back in the
Did you see me collect my trophy? Yeah, they said for all my years of backing the wimpy Dallas Cowboys led by Tony Homo Romo and Jerry, I don't want to get a good coach, Jones, they gave me the Fan of the Year award.
I can't understand Jones. He don't mind spending money. Get a coach in there, guy.
Rod Woodson was fired as the Raiders' secondary coach with everybody else. There's some discussion to bring him here. I don't really like this guy, but I respect him. I say bring him on. What do you two say?
He played good ball. When he played good ball.
Here are the NFL Hall of Famers. Dermonte Dawson, a center. Chris Dolman played for the Vikings. Give me a break. Willie Roaf the Loaf. Cortez Kennedy, Curtis Martin, he deserved it. He's fourth all-time rusher. And some senior named Jack Butler. They left off Jerome Bettis, Chris Carter, Parcells, Andre Reed, Tim Brown, and Eddie DiBartolo.
You got to have something from next year.
That is, those Dolman, Roaf, Kennedy over those?
You got to get Alignment some credit.
You're right. Yeah. The bus.
The bus? Come on.
Yeah.
The Reds are in the hunt for Oswalt. If they land him, the division's theirs.
You think so?
Can you imagine? They brought in the pitcher from San Diego. They would be like lights out.
Where are they getting this money from?
Oh.
They're going to borrow it.
One other commercial.
The American way.
The one with Troy Aikman.
Yes, that was a good Bridgestone.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders in football's going different. Hey, man, I like Deion. He's funny.
That ain't fair, man.
He needs that money now, doesn't he?
Yep. We come back. We have a few more sports items. We got pop culture. 19 years old. He was 45. The Bulldog on Real Talk 1160.
Simon Kitten defeated Ryle on Friday, 66-61. Cody Chambers led all scorers with 26 points. Simon Kitten back in action Tuesday against Campbell County. Steve Jarnicki has the pregame starting at 7:06 here on Real Talk 1160. And now back to the Bulldogs.
Sensible, Don. I think Bulldog Nation needs a little bit of, how should I say this, not culture, but history.
History's always good.
Do you know who Plutarch was, Sensible Don?
Don't know that name.
Plutarch was a Greek who lived in Rome, and he wrote the biography of all the great Greeks and Romans. Truman said that when he needed to make a major decision, he would turn to Plutarch instead of his advisors.
History.
Plutarch. He made the city of Athens great, as it was when he took it the greatest and richest of all cities, and grew to be superior in power to kings and tyrants. Some of these actually appointed him guardian of their sons, but he did not make his estate a single drachma greater than it was when his father left it to him. He wrote that about Pericles, who's considered the greatest mayor in the history of the world.
But he threw the money
Except he
away.
kind of screwed up, and his whole town was diseased to death.
In those days, disease would wipe out the town.
Today in history, 1959, a U.S. test fired for the first time a Titan intercontinental ballistic missile from Cape Canaveral. How you like that?
Bad news.
Famous birthdays today. Alice Cooper is 63.
Still partying.
Still partying. I tell you right now, he is one ugly-looking dude.
Oh, man. But the women would
He could still get girls because he was Alice Cooper.
Oh.
Dan Quayle, 64.
He's old now?
What a goofus. How did that guy rise up to be the vice president of the United States?
Dan Quayle's just a year older than Alice Cooper.
Gee. And two people that were great in history. Rosa Parks, 98. Civil rights movement, baby. She would not give up her seat on that bus.
You know,
she said, I'm not moving.
She's no longer here.
I know she isn't. She would have been 98. You know, Sarah makes sure that we know how old they be.
Okay.
Which is important because no one else does that.
Right.
Thanks,
Makes
Sarah.
us special.
Charles Lindbergh would be 109. He's dead too, Don.
Oh, no, he's not. He can't be.
You know, I'm going to give you a fun fact about Charles Lindbergh. People say, okay, the Spirit of St. Louis, you know, the first solo flight across the Atlantic. You know, and he had peanut butter sandwiches.
Yes.
And he almost fell asleep. That was the problem. He'd be falling asleep. The other thing about him is, of course, we know the famous kidnapping case where Bruno Haupten fried.
Right.
But what's little known about Charles Lindbergh, he was like the first American celebrity.
He was.
He was like a celebrity. And after the flight, he also was one of the founders of Pan American Airlines. He went around building airports. He was a big proponent of airports. He was really the godfather of aviation, far past the Spirit of St. Louis.
I agree with his celebrity and his wife's money. Plus, the guy was a celebrity up until December 7, 1941, when he was supporting the Germans.
He was supporting the Germans.
Case closed for him.
Yeah, come on, Lindbergh. Germans.
And
Him and Joe Kennedy on the wrong side of history.
Were they not?
They were.
They definitely.
Brigadier General Terrence Hildner, 48, died in Afghanistan. We have a Brigadier General dying.
I didn't know we lost any stars over there.
How do you like that?
I did not know.
3-day forecast today: sunny. Tuesday, partly cloudy. High 51. Wednesday, snow showers. Yeah, right. High. Do you believe this weather? I mean, I'm standing outside the house yesterday. I'm thinking, this is February the 5th, and you could go out and jog without a coat on.
Right.
In February.
Nice.
This is going to be the year we had. You know what? I think I've only had to scrape my windshield twice this year.
Once for me. Once.
Isn't it incredible? What the hell?
Not complaining.
I didn't tell you what the feel-good song is, but I'll tell you at the break. History story. In 1931, a 23-year-old school teacher from Texas came to Washington, D.C. for the first time. He was there to work as an aide. Newly elected representative from Texas, Richard Kleberg. He moved into Dodge Hotel, where 75 other congressional aides also lived. The young man knew nothing about how things worked on Capitol Hill. He was determined to change things in a hurry. Everybody on his floor had to use one bathroom at the end of the hall. The young man went to take a shower, introducing himself to others using the bathroom. Then he came back half an hour later to take another shower, introducing himself to a different set of people. All in all, he took 4 showers that night, meeting and making contact with as many as congressional aides as possible. The following morning, he went to the bathroom 5 different times to brush his teeth, shooting questions to everyone he met. The young man's name was Lyndon Johnson. Was he a homo, or was he just like...
He knew how to...
On his first day at the Dodge, he was already demonstrating the same energy that would make him the president.
That's right. The guy knew how to make it work.
Obsessive compulsive, maybe?
All right. You want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Why not?
2 Tennessee rednecks were out hunting, and they were walking along. They came along a huge hole in the ground. They approached it and were amazed by the size of it. The first hunter said, "Wow, that's some hole. I can't even see the bottom. I wonder how deep it is." The second hunter said, "I don't know. Let's throw something down, listen, and see how long it takes at the bottom." The first hunter says, "There's this old automobile transmission here. Give me a hand. We'll throw it in and see." So they pick it up, and they carry it over and count 1, 2, 3, and threw it in the hole, Don. They're standing there listening, looking over the edge, and they hear a rustling in the brush behind them. As they turn around, they see a goat come crashing through the brush, run up to the hole, and with no hesitation, jump in head first. While they're standing there looking at each other, looking at the hole, trying to figure out what this all was about, an old farmer walked up. "Say there," said the farmer, "you fellers didn't happen to see my goat around here anywhere, did you?" First hunter said, "Well, funny you should ask. But we were all standing here a minute ago, and a goat came running out of the bushes doing about 100 miles an hour and jumped head first in this hole here." The old farmer said, "That's impossible. I had him chained to a transmission."
That was good. That's good.
Shakespeare for the day. "Lawless are they that make their wills their law." Sounds like me.
It fits, doesn't it?
It fits me. I apologize for that. College basketball this weekend, Don. The Bearcats beat DePaul 74-66. Memphis beat the Xavier, man. What's happening to the Muskies?
They go
72-60. Chris Mack, it's coach. You're up that much against Memphis? Don't score in 6 minutes? It's the coach. Fire Chris Mack.
How you not scoring?
Meanwhile, UK Wildcats 86, South Carolina 52. It could have been 120-40 if they wanted it to. And I love Calipari's post-game comments. He said, "We were going to beat somebody by 30 today." I mean, they were like incredible. They are so much better. I mean, it's, oh my goodness.
You really got a team to root for now.
Absolutely. Redhawks 59, Ball State 53, NKU 77, Wisconsin Parkside 65. And I got to take glee in this. Duke loses to Miami 78-74.
Don't like Duke?
If you're a UK fan, you despise Duke.
Oh. Okay.
Have you seen the documentary about Joe Namath?
Yes, I saw that.
Good documentary. Excellent, wonderful piece.
Excellent documentary.
Joe's a good guy.
The interview with him was really something that spellbinding. You sit there and listen to this guy.
Right.
He did an excellent job. And
Great.
It was not rehearsed.
Great guy.
Oh, yes, I love it.
He had his knees in his alcohol chapter, but I think the neatest part was the honoring that his old high school, Beaver Falls, gave him. 1960-61 state champs.
Right.
And
they brought him back.
Yeah, right. Undefeated. Beaver Falls.
But what remarkable about that man, he married a woman, 19 years younger than him, and wonder why it didn't work?
Yeah.
Like you say, what are you going to talk about?
Are you kidding me?
She don't know anything about football.
Who do you think you are, Hugh Hefner?
It's always a mistake to do that.
Oh, it's too young.
Always.
Too young.
Let's have some pop culture, Sensible Don.
I'm listening.
The New York Post yesterday wrote an excerpt from a book by Mimi Alford, a 19-year-old White House intern who had an 18-month affair with JFK while working the White House. She's now a 69-year-old grandmother. Her book, Once Upon a Secret, My Affair with President John F. Kennedy and Its Aftermath, she was beautiful.
In her day?
And she met some guy, ended up getting married while she was still going to get married. Hugged him in a hotel room the week before he died. Unbelievable story, the things he shared with her. You know, one thing they did a lot, they took baths together and played with rubber duckies that they named after each family member. True story. Picture JFK,
get out,
45 years old, in a bathtub with a 19-year-old intern playing with rubber duckies.
But you do know.
You sure this wasn't Michael Jackson?
No.
You do know Pillow Talk has been the downfall of nations.
Yes.
And it happened all the time.
Well, at least this woman kept it secret till she was 69.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
She was married, man. She didn't want her husband to know she was a presidential skank.
Well,
Too much to lose.
He's gone now?
He's gone. I
can make some money now.
Gene Hackman was hit by a car while on a bike in the Florida Keys.
Isn't he 80?
He was airlifted to a hospital at 81. He hurt his leg, but he'll be okay.
Come on, Gene.
Man.
That's movie tough guy.
Movie tough guy who took him down a notch was old Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven.
Unforgiven, right? Absolutely.
Heidi and Seal, he tweets the end.
The end?
The hope of maybe reconciliation is over.
Is it over with?
He's got
this song's not in the top 10 yet?
No, I guess not. Movie review. I saw the movie War Horse Friday night with the missus. Good movie. Yeah. Good movie.
Told a good story?
Told a good story.
Bring you to tears?
Good movie. And we come back, we'll finish up pop culture. We got some more good stuff for you on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160.
I got to ask you, Bulldog.
I think I'm going to just keep boycotting those meetings on Friday.
Oh, here we go. Downhill again. What that comment came out a little while back? Don, I'm going to have to learn that I work for these people around here. Remember that comment?
Sensible Don, I forgot another Oracle. I got to re-Oracle Chuck Holbrook.
What? Chuck again?
Chuck Holbrook spent 4 hours on Saturday at Sprint and another one yesterday. And unlike Charlie Lester, who is my consigliere who gets a jack wagon, my consigliere computer geek, Charlie Lester, was unable to do what Chuck was able to do at Sprint, which is to save 3,500 phone numbers and contacts from my old BlackBerry to my iPhone.
You got them transferred.
I now have 4,000 names and phone numbers in this phone little right here.
So there's nothing Chuck can't do, in other words.
Not with Sprint, he can't.
Okay, that sounds good. But I got to ask you.
But Charlie the Geek Lester, my consigliere, failed miserably. He tried like 6 times.
That's why you got Chuck.
That's right. The underboss, always beats the consigliere like in a chess move, I guess.
Now, if you were Joe Namath.
If I was Joe Namath, yes, I would make love to Ann Margaret.
When he signed, we signed that $450,000 contract when they thought that was the end of the world. That was too much money to pay a quarterback. And you had people waiting for you with a limousine every time you got off a plane with 2 women sitting in the backseat while the rest of the team had to go get on the bus. Would you like to live that life?
No.
Oh, come on, bro.
Give me one good woman like my wife. That's all I need.
Every city, 2 different beautiful. And I looked at these women
It's empty promises, Don. It's empty promises.
And like you said.
And you know what? Another thing about him, too, which I thought was funny, is he wasn't going to sell his interest in that restaurant where the mafia people used to go because it's the principal. He cried over it.
Yeah.
Come on, Broadway, Joe.
Come on, business guy. This is business.
Be crying over it. Of course, somebody finally woke him up.
Yeah, they will take your money, guy.
I saw another movie on Saturday that I liked, a DirecTV movie called The Bandits. It's an oldie but goodie. Billy Bob Thornton and Bruce Willis, they're bank robbers that go to bank managers' house the night before, spend the night, and when they go in the morning, they rob the bank. Right. I'm thinking that's a good game plan. Yeah. I watch these things, and I'm thinking that would work.
It did work for one young lady.
Mel Gibson update. Joe Hesterhaus, who is writing, he's kind of famous screenplay, is writing a screenplay for Mel Gibson about Judah Maccabee, a great Jewish hero. This from an interview from New York Times Magazine. His film, The Passion of Christ, was widely considered anti-Semitic. That's BS. Then, during a 2006 arrest for drunken driving, he ranted that the Jews are responsible for the wars in the world. Is he the right director? This is what he said. At one of the early meetings, Adam Vogelson, Universal Pictures chairman, said to him, "Why do you want to do this story?" Mel said, "Because I think I should." I like that answer very much. It goes on. That sounds as if he feels it's way to dissociate himself from the previous anti-Semitism charges. This was his answer. We both saw it as Mel, maybe from his heart, wanting to do a terrific Braveheart-like movie about Jewish history. Now, this is the kicker. Are you comfortable doing business with him? This is what Joe Esterhazy says. I've seen him explode at guests in his houses, and I think that his ex-girlfriend is probably right about one thing. He needs medication. To me, the Passion of Christ was not anti-Semitic. I loved it. But I am concerned about what he said to the highway patrolman. The answer is going to come when I finish the script and I see his reaction.
See what happens.
Oh, that man.
You think he's trying to change his image?
Sensible Don, we have some jubilees.
And?
In 1962, what two great bands formed?
That's a good question.
Don't
no
tick,
idea.
Tick. The Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys.
Never listened to these.
The Bad Boys and the Beach Boys. How do you like that?
Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys.
In 1962. Speaking of jubilees, Queen Elizabeth, our good queen, on this day in history, February 6, 1952, became queen at the age of 25. She has been queen for 60 years.
60 years.
She became queen when her father, George VI, died. By the way, George VI is the one that was depicted in the King's Speech, the World War II. And his brother, Edward, is the one that gave up the crown for a woman. But guess what the inside story is? He was a jackwagon, wimpy dude, didn't want to be king anyway, so he didn't give up the throne for a woman. He didn't want nothing to do with it anyway.
He wanted that woman.
No, he was weird.
He moved to
He
the
was
Bahamas.
a wimp. Giving up the... there's a jackwagon. You give up a throne for a woman like her?
True love.
True love my butt.
You just couldn't handle the stress of the job. That's what it is.
You know what? My wife wants me to give up radio for her.
Uh-oh. There's a problem.
What would you think if I just walked away from my radio career for my wife?
I know that'd be some serious love involved there because you love radio.
I know, but she wants me to walk away from it.
And you're addicted to radio.
Maybe if she took off her black toenail polish that she put on to punish me, maybe I'd resign my radio position.
It's still on?
Yes.
I mean, what did you do again?
You know what's so terrible? She has cute toes, but for the black toenail polish. It's devastating.
I guess it is if it's still on. What did you do this time? What was it?
The women in the studio that have now been banned.
That's 2 weeks ago.
Another one of my bad ideas, isn't it?
My wife holds a grudge.
Speaking of grudges, remember you always talk. Good point. You say women will hold a grudge forever.
Yes.
Joyce DeWitt and Suzanne
I know.
Summers.
I rest my case.
From Three's Company.
I'm glad you brought that up.
30 years. They haven't spoken since Suzanne Summers got fired, and they just had a reconciliation last week.
I know.
Wow.
I rest my case about women.
30 years.
People don't know this, but Sensible Don and I got in a fist fight 3 weeks ago in here.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the show. And the next day, we were laughing about it.
Yeah.
Drinking a beer.
Yeah, with the patches on our face.
By the way, for a 60-year-old man, you got a mean uppercut, man.
Pretty good left, wasn't it?
Jeez, oh, Pete. Tonight on NBC, Smash premieres at 10 Eastern Standard Time. It's kind of like an adult Glee.
Flop.
I say flop, too.
Flop,
Smash.
flop.
Ooh.
I wonder how much it costs per episode.
Who comes up with these? Who's doing who to get these shows and movies made?
Yeah, Pan Am.
Oh, my gosh.
Playboy Club. What is wrong with you,
Exactly.
people?
Playboy Club lasted 3 episodes.
Yeah, if it lasted that long.
Queen has a new singer. It's the Queen, Adam Lambert. The Rolling Stone reports the American Idol, Adam Lambert, is going to be the Queen's new lead singer. He was like one of Queen's. He loved Queen. He did a lot of Queen songs.
And he can sing.
He is now the new Queen lead singer.
He can really sing.
The new Freddie Mercury.
Where's Freddie?
By the way, I mentioned my wife's dream, where I was married to a fat woman named Colleen. No offense to all you skinny Colleens out there. I'm going to tell you right now, what was weird about it is I had a dream too Saturday night, which was wild. You know what? Don't you like those dreams when you wake up and you're like, thank God that was a dream?
Right,
because it seems so real. I was being framed for the murder of a federal judge.
Whoa.
By the federal judge's law clerk. Now, what was good about it in the dream, it was clear that I had enough evidence to, prove my innocence.
Right.
But it was pretty scary. It was in the front page of the paper.
Everything.
Deters murders judge.
It's just one question to be asked here.
What would Freud say about these
I don't
dreams, you know?
It's just one
That's
question.
an interesting question.
One question.
Murders the
Bulldog.
judge. He's ratted out by a woman named Colleen.
Why?
That's it. You get ratted out by a woman named Colleen.
Yeah.
She double crosses.
What did you do to the law clerk? What did you do?
I was ready to kill him is what I was ready to do.
They coming after you, guy.
Let me see. I have some local news stuff, but you know what? This makes our program director maybe mad, but to be honest with you, all the local stuff's boring.
I'm going to do it anyway.
So we're not going to do it. Now
there are some interesting things going on locally.
All right, Mr. Local News. Tell us, TC, what's going on local that's going to make our fans go, man, that's really neat.
Okay, all right, here we go. Dr. Brennan Sapp. All right, he's the principal at Scott High School.
Oh, my God.
You heard of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
Yes.
All right, they have a principal advisory board. They have 15 principals nationwide. He was one of them. Handpicked.
Wow!
Well, that's
Bulldog Nation's excited about that.
Hey, he was on our
show. You know what
this
I
weekend.
left off? Just to let you know. Here, hold on a second.
I mean, it's big news. All right.
Can you find that, Bulldog?
Here are the items that I was going to leave off. Steve Arlinghouse reports in the KittenCounty.org all of his accomplishments working with cities, saving personnel costs, reducing jail personnel costs, and increasing golf course revenue. Let's have a big yawn out there for Bulldog Nation. Let me see. Rand Paul, Kentucky Bridges, and I even like Rand Paul. He has a little, in his own words, about what we need to do to rebuild the bridges in Louisville and up here, the Brent Spence Bridge.
And what does he have to say?
He says, let's fund construction efforts on America's high-priority infrastructure needs without adding to our national debt. In this time of massive annual deficit, bridge repair certainly trumps bike paths and squirrel sanctuaries.
Hit that on the nose.
We have to make these choices in light of our current economic recession, and we can if we work together. In my view, bridge repair and replacement should not be a partisan issue. It is time we prioritize our infrastructure needs and get Kentucky moving again.
Agree with him 110%.
Yawn.
Now, everybody driving across that bridge right now is going, yeah.
Yes.
When we come back.
That's good stuff there, man.
Well, let me get people excited. When we come back, okay? We got numerology, earmuffs, and Mormon facts on Real Talk 1160.
Mormon facts.
If you want to talk more about the Super Bowl, join Jeff, Rick, and Jay this afternoon. The other guys from 5 to 7 here on Real Talk 1160. And now back to the Bulldog.
You know what? Thank you, TC. This is the Bulldog with Sensible Don on Real Talk 1160. You know those other guys from 5 to 7?
Yeah.
Let me see. On Friday, we have in studio somebody from the Cincinnati Bengals who played the game and was in a Super Bowl, Tom Dinkle, who not only did he bring us donuts, but he did a great job.
Great job.
And then we also had on the phone Doug Pelfrey, another NFL player. And when you combine Dinkle and Pelfrey with our expert analysis, it was an unbelievable pre-Super Bowl party.
Wonderful party.
Now, I tuned in at 5 o'clock to the other guy's show. All right? The three of them had on a cheerleader from the Bengals.
I would rather been at that show.
What?
I would rather been at that show.
It was terrible. It was like four boring people sitting around talking.
And she was there?
Yeah.
Dink, I'm sorry. Nothing personal, but I'd much rather been at that show.
I mean,
tell me?
I couldn't believe how bad it was.
Next time, guys, tell me and I show
wait a
up.
minute. What the talk show host meant to say was he couldn't believe how incredibly gorgeous she was.
We'll let him have Dinkle next time, okay, and Pelfrey.
And we get
since Picaro obviously can't get a guest.
And we get the cheerleader?
Ooh.
No,
I don't want the cheerleader. This is a male cheer. We got to have like a George Bush cheerleader. Oh. Remember, the wife is banned women from the studio.
Hey, remember the boss said make nice with the other gang.
Here's another thing that I like to comment on about the Super Bowl. Have you noticed the last few years, no great teams that win it? I mean, is this team a great team? You think about the Bears, great team. The Cowboys, great teams. Right. The 49ers, great teams. These aren't great teams, are they?
You don't have great teams.
Isn't that weird?
Wild card team won.
I mean, like when St. Louis Rams won it. Right. That wasn't a great team. The Giants win a great team.
And
The
not much
Packers
offense.
last year, not a great team. The Saints, they weren't a great team. Where's all the great teams?
Ain't no repeating at the Super Bowl.
And not much offense either.
I'm a big numerologist. 3s and 7s are big. Like I grew up on 333 Green Road. I'm the third son of 7 sons.
Age 27.
I'm just telling you right now, there's some neat stuff here. Did you know that most of the wealth in the world is north of the 33rd parallel?
And the 33rd parallel runs through. I
don't know where the hell it runs, but it's north of it.
In the 48th parallel right there at border.
The human foot has 33 muscles. Jesus died at 33. The turns in the sequence of human DNA is 33. Atlantis, the Great Pyramids, and the Bermuda Triangle are at or near the 33rd parallel. 33, Sensible Don, is a big, big deal.
The money's at north of that parallel, right?
If you go buy a house, you should make sure you live on 33, whatever avenue it is.
Everybody, I live at 33.
You should get married when you're 33.
I live at 33.
To a woman who's 33.
No, she was 20.
Earmuffs. This is from the New York Times. Each December, the residents of Farmington, Maine, hold a parade for their favorite son, a boy who they believe invented earmuffs. According to town legend, Chester Greenwood was a 15-year-old with large, sensitive ears. So, writes Nancy Porter in the book Chester More Than Earmuffs, he bent wires into circles with a connecting wire over his head. Greenwood had his grandmother sew fabric onto the part that covered the ear. Let it be known, began his 1877 patent application, that I, Chester Greenwood, have invented certain new and certain useful improvements for ear mufflers. He may have not been the first person to ever put a so-called muffler over an ear, but he made a fortune off of it. By 1882, Chester Greenwood and Company was making 50,000 pairs a year. By the start of World War I, Greenwood, who would go on to also patent the spring-toothed rake, landed a lucrative contract with the armed forces. Everyone in the service really jumped on the bandwagon, said Vasilos Christovopoulos, chairman of the Fashion Institute of Technology Accessories Designs Department. In 1938, a year after Greenwood's death, Life magazine likened his simple innovation to the Model T Ford of earmuffs.
It made big money.
Earmuffs, Sensible Don.
Well, pet rocks.
By the way, yesterday during the football game, I used 2 words, mercurial and muffs. My wife was impressed with the word mercurial, but muff, she didn't like that word. I wonder why she didn't like the word muff.
What does the first one mean?
By the way, while everybody else is at Super Bowl parties, my wife and I watched it home alone in front of our TV while she Pinterest. That's a new thing that they do. They scroll through Pinterest, this website of neat things to look at. And I worked. We had a productive Super Bowl. And we ate Tostitos. And we ate chocolate. And she made cream soda ice creams, floats.
Y'all had a little fun day.
We had a nice day.
Back to being a kid again.
See, when you got a good woman, Sensible Don, you don't need anybody else. Like friends like you.
Yeah, I got one.
Man, this guy is trying hard to get that toenail polish off, isn't he?
Mormon. Here's some Mormon facts, Don. They believe in God. They believe in Jesus Christ. They banned polygamy in 1890.
But
fools. Baptism by immersion. Communion is bread and water. They don't even do wine. And they do a lot of missionary work.
They do.
That was from Sunday's Inquirer. Mormons are just like you and me, Don.
I don't think so. I'm not allowed to be a Mormon.
They seem a little weird.
Yeah. Oh, they are.
You know, they seem a little. How about this story, Sensible Don? A 3-year-old middle schooler from New York City was busted selling pot brownies for $3.
Wait, let's back up. 3 years old, middle school?
No, she was a middle schooler. She was selling $3 pot brownies.
Okay, sounds good.
21. She had 21 customers.
She has a good customer base.
I think
there.
she was underselling.
That's $63.
Pot and a brownie, baby. That I'd sell them for more than $3.
She didn't know what she had.
She didn't know what she had there, baby.
Neither did the teachers, apparently.
Teachers didn't like that at all.
Oh, pot and brownie.
I got a serious question, Sensible Don.
I'm listening.
Russia and China, they veto a UN resolution against Syria. Now, why? And why do we intervene? You know, I didn't agree with it, but we intervene in Libya because we're worried about all these innocent people getting murdered.
Right.
And Syrians are getting murdered left and right. And good old Hillary doesn't do anything.
Because
I think she said this week, she goes, well, we can't overthrow all of them.
That's right. We shouldn't intervene in any of them.
I know we shouldn't.
No, we should not.
But isn't that unbelievable double standard?
Absolutely.
And look how everything's working out in Egypt and Libya for us.
Egypt's coming back and biting us in the butt. Right.
Every place, Iraq, every place we've intervened is a disaster. Iraq's a disaster. Afghanistan's a disaster. Libya, Egypt is a disaster. Hello.
Cincinnati's a disaster.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Hassad's going to put most of the people on the ground to keep that country.
And this is a great one, man. Russia, old Putin. Anti-government protesters managed to gather a third huge crowd in the center of Moscow on Saturday. Guess what the temperature was?
Explain.
-4.
Nobody was showed up here.
-4 degrees. Well, the Russians haven't got anything to do but drink vodka and protest.
That's all they do. Walk around firm.
People wonder why Russia has an alcohol problem. Are you kidding me? That dreary, dreary place.
No matter where you
I always think to myself when they come together in the square and protest, where do they go home to?
There's no place to go
Some
home to.
dark, dingy, cold apartment, eating potato soup.
Potato soup is a good thing.
That's what they got. And cabbage, it's cabbage soup. I forget what it's called.
It must be
in
cabbage.
Russian history, we actually had to cook a Russian meal once. Sister Philip's going to be mad at me. Is it called borscht? I forget what it's called. It's their main meal.
Oh, Boris and Natasha.
Yeah, Boris and Natasha.
And you actually cooked and ate this meal?
No wonder there's mail order Russian brides.
Yeah. And they line up.
If you're a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, you're putting yourself up for auction.
I tell you what, I met a Russian bride on my bus one day, coming downtown to learn English. She was absolutely stunning.
Stunning, huh?
Stunning. And she's about 19 years old. The guy that brought her here was 50.
Sensible Don, when we come back, we are going to analyze the Nevada political scene and the aftermath. You know what? It's kind of boring now, isn't it? Everybody's excited about South Carolina, New Hampshire. Now it's kind of like, Romney's going to win. It's all boring.
It's up to Super Tuesday.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing to do.
Don't you think it's boring?
Yes, absolutely.
And we also have to analyze the economic picture where apparently we created 238,000 new jobs. Yeah, right.
Where?
Meanwhile, 1 million stopped looking for a job. How do we consider that a plus? 1 million people say, I'm not going to look anymore. And we had 230,000 jobs and people jump up and down.
I think what happened is Newt decided he was going to just let Mitt Romney win Nevada, and Mitt didn't want to win Nevada, but he just kind of stumbled into it, and it just happened, and Newt thought he could buy himself some more time.
By the way, that's supposed to be the feel-good song, if you can find it.
All right, sounds good. Got a green water for you, too.
Green water, we come back on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. By the way, it's nice that we had a promo for Savage at noon because there was this promo for Dennis Miller at noon.
They finally got around to it.
Fighting for airtime.
Who's now 3 to 5.
Yeah, we got to fix that. We'll fix that today.
TC, do you have a green water promo for us?
Well, actually, we do have green water. You ready for green water? Here we go.
I'm ready for green water.
Eli Manning, you're the MVP of Super Bowl 46. What are you going to do now? Okay, now see, we blew all our money getting that guy to, you know how much it costs to have that guy drink the green water? We didn't have enough money to have Eli actually say something, but we were right along there with him. Next year, baby, next year.
Oh, we got to have some money next year.
Plus that Lady Goggles thing set us back. But we had the mic right up next to you. We were right there.
But no money to go with it.
I'm going to drink green water.
We just couldn't afford to have to say that,
You know what? This place has gone to hell in a handbasket.
Yes,
I'm going to protest. There's no food in the place.
No food.
When you bring in the food, all these people, there's a book. I'm going to give a book to Rob and Jamie and Shanna. You know what that book is? Small Things.
Small things.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
You
You ever hear that book, Don't Sweat the Small
Yes.
Stuff? They act like when there's food in here, oh my God, there's signs. Don't put the food in the studio. Got to keep the food in the kitchen. Like, oh my God, if there's a donut laying around somewhere, the world's going to end.
I think it was a half a pound of spaghetti that was in the garbage can that they were upset about.
And of course, I did that on purpose, didn't we? Do that, Don?
yeah.
Yes, we did, baby.
Make it clear. I tried to stop you.
Well, anyway, I can't believe how anal retentive this place is and these little rules. Everybody ate those donuts, didn't they, Don?
Yes,
There's no donuts left.
No
Thanks,
not
Hank.
even a
Appreciate
box.
that.
Oh, good God. And I got a couple major announcements to make.
I'm listening.
First of all, Sensible Don is going to be gone Friday through the 20th. So I will be Donless.
Would you like for me to make a call?
For what? To call in?
Yes.
Of course, I'd love you to call. Call in every day. It'll be fun.
I will make a call if my wife gets me up.
Now, what people don't realize is I'm going to seize the opportunity to do replacements for Don as a sidekick to see if there's anybody that can. See, I'm always looking to upgrade Don.
I know you are.
So I'm going to have people in here one after the other, like a special. Gary Burbank's coming in one day. Gary Jeff Walker's coming in one day.
Have them all read this line. Read this line. You get the government you vote for. Read that line.
That's right. Get that right. That's the line you better stick with.
But there's going to be no women. There's going to be no women.
Well, what about Glenn from Mason?
Chris Smitherman. Glenn from Mason, I wouldn't let him in here if the place was on fire and he had a hose.
Well, I'd consider it if he had a
I
hose.
would definitely consider it. He has a hose for a dog. Let him
Or a
in.
ladder,
Anyway.
at least, maybe,
Anyway, actually, I'm just teasing. Sensible Don, I'm just going to go sidekickless.
Oh, you can't do that?
Yes, I am. I'm going to go
No,
sidekickless.
you cannot
I'm going
do
to
that.
prove that I don't really need you for about a week.
I got to tell my wife I can't make this trip now. Can't make this
You know
trip.
what? You got to be careful.
Oh, you
like
definitely-
Wally Pitt, man,
Yeah,
you know.
You look up. I used to have a place here, but I'm not anymore.
Nah, your place is safe, Sensible Don. I'm going to go sidekickless. TC will be my sidekick for a week.
You think I get that same reaction that Lady Host gave you?
You know what? I'm actually going to be sad the next week. My wife leaves tomorrow to go down to Florida to spend a week with her mom and dad,
Right.
and I'm going to be home alone with my son.
How's that work?
I hate that, by the way. Some people might think that's great. I hate it. When my wife leaves, it's a pain in the butt.
I like keeping mine around close. Keep her close.
I mean, I just don't like it. It messes up. It makes me discombobulated. I love that word, discombobulated.
What do you eat when she's
the
gone?
word of the day.
What do I eat? A lot of fast food, Don.
All that weight.
You know what? She cooked a shepherd's pie this week, and I ate it like for 4 meals. Shepherd's pie. Put it in the microwave. Maybe I can convince her to make a chicken pot pie. Oh, by the way, Riley, she's watching Riley today. Riley came over Saturday for a visit, and she was tearing through my papers. And we posted a picture of her tearing through my papers. It looks like she's helping me out.
Oh, absolutely.
The little Riley from Osmosis, I'm trying to make her a lawyer.
From the
Golly, that little girl is so cute. My gosh. You know, one of my kids would turn off the television. I'd be mad. Not Riley. She goes up there with her finger and goes, turns off the TV. We all laugh. That's so cute. Somebody else does that. You
got him by the neck.
The granddaughter softens you up.
The granddaughter can do whatever the hell she wants. And that's something else. The double standards.
Yes.
Well, the new thing is, let me see, Nevada, Las Vegas, and good old Nevada. Romney won 50% of the vote. He even got conservatives. Of course, Nevada has a big Mormon population. But now Newt Gingrich says Texas is going to be his Alamo. He wants to hang on till April 3rd and try to win Texas, where he gets 155 delegates. Even Dick Armey has abandoned him. And his financial backer, this billionaire Sheldon Adelson, billionaire casino executive, he says that he could even support Mitt Romney against Obama. So the ship is sinking. Michelle Bachmann is right. They can say all they want. Right. The money's drying up. Right. It's over for these people.
No doubt about it. When the money goes away,
and you know, Rick Santorum, he goes to like one state. He'll lose 10, but he'll focus on one like he did Iowa. Like right now, he's focused on Missouri. Well, okay, Rick. But the problem is all the Republicans are like, Romney's the guy. They're all jumping on the bandwagon. It's over. It's over.
It should be.
Of course, we declared it last week. We're the first.
They should support the guy. He's the man. Everybody should say, okay, we will support him.
It's time to get on the bandwagon. Even us.
Right.
Even us accepted the fact, let's get on the old Romney bandwagon. I tell you right now, I'm a sick and tired. People love when I say that. Sick and tired. I ought to patent and trademark that. Sick and tired of people comparing him to McCain. He is embracing the support of the party versus going it alone like McCain. There's going to be a better organization, more money, and more attack mode. John McCain could be the worst Republican presidential nominee of all time. Romney is not. He is not a McCain. What say you?
What's the wild card? What's the wild card?
The economy.
No, the wild card is the third party.
The third party? It's not going to happen.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul wants Obama to lose.
Well, if he wants
By the way, Tuesday, Missouri is the election. Newt's not even on the ballot.
He didn't make it.
Newt's not even on the ballot.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Good old Newt. Oh, listen to this. Newt's acting like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. No big deal. Oh. They sponsored him for a trip to Ireland.
Play golf.
How do you like that? Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Yeah, this big old sponsor on his European trip.
Where'd that money come from?
Oh, how about this? You know, the more you break it down and you think about all of this, how about Newt calling Paul Ryan's plan to reform Medicare right-wing conservative engineering, right-wing social engineering? Are you kidding me? And now he's trying to act like he's the conservative when he blasts Paul Ryan's plan as right-wing social engineering.
If it works, it works.
You know what? Newt's a politician, too.
Self-serving hypocrite.
Self-serving. You know what? When he was Uncle Newt, then all of a sudden the real Newt came out. He tried being nice Newt, but then the mean Newt, the real Newt came out.
Mr. Nice Guy's gone.
And Clarissa, how come she's not allowed to talk on the campaign trail?
Maybe she ain't got nothing to say.
Maybe because they're going to, if she speaks, they're going to say, Jezebel! Jezebel!
The hair says it all. The hair says
Where's your scarlet letter? Jezebel! Jezebel!
Oh, she put herself in that predicament. God, she will hear that.
Newt, can you go home and just ask your wife it's okay if we just keep dating openly while you're still married? What the hell? Open marriage went out after the 70s.
Oh, no. The Mormons still have open marriages.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
I thought it was over in the 70s.
What's his name, Jess?
By the way, I read in the newspaper in New York Times where some open marriage organization said this has been a bombshell for them. It's been a boom, just a boom for their people inquiring about how this works. How's that work? Hey, honey, I'm going to stay married. What kind of a woman accepts that? Honey, I want to stay married, but I'm going to do whatever the hell I damn please. Okay.
She wants the money. But
I tell you what, if my wife came and told me that, I'd say, nah, baby, nah.
Oh, you would never give it up, would you?
I'm too jealous. I'm too jealous.
I'm surprised you let her go to Florida by herself.
She's going to be with her mom or dad, or I'd say no.
There's an airplane ride down there.
Yeah, she'll probably be. Now, my wife's a good. I don't worry about my wife.
I hope not.
She's a good woman.
Yeah, most women are good women.
Do you know I've never had one single moment of feeling bad about her one time?
Nope.
Me, on the other hand, she's had some issues to deal with.
Yes,
God love her.
Yes, she has. Seriously.
I've had to get on bended knee and say I'm sorry for that.
You do that every day, don't you?
No, not every day.
I noticed you apologize.
I promised that I wouldn't flirt anymore.
Do you flirt?
Never.
Yeah, right.
I never flirt.
You know, I hang out with you.
I never flirt.
I hang out with you.
Let's go on to the next subject.
Yes, please, before we get in trouble again.
Oh, we got a break here? Saved by
the break.
When we come back, I want your opinion of this David Lewis one-trick pony politician running against Boehner. See, I think him running those aborted babies, not good.
No, not good at all.
But John Boehner is a jackwagon.
He is.
Let's jackwagon them both up on Real Talk 1160.
Remember, you can use the TuneIn Radio app free on your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android to hear Real Talk 1160 anytime. Whether you're in Finneytown, Fairfield, or Fort Worth, you can hear Real Talk 1160 with the TuneIn Radio app. Right now, you can listen to the Bulldog.
Sensible Don?
Yes.
We are Real Talk 1160. Why don't you promote yourself?
Sensible Don on Facebook anytime. Sensible Don Lewis, of course. And we will talk, as I always say, about Bulldog. But I will give you some information about me if you choose to ask.
Well, I just want everybody to know that I'm a lawyer first and foremost, so email me at eric@ericdeters.com or text me at 859-250-2527, or you can just call 859-BULLDOG. How do you like that?
And this is the only lawyer that will talk to you anytime, any place.
That is correct. Also, I want you to pick up a copy of the Journal News and the Highland County Press, two papers that I write for. One day I'm going to win a Pulitzer Prize and a Marconi.
Oh, that'd be too much for you. In the same year?
You know, I'll just remain my humble self.
Yeah, right.
Hey, how's Don Hubbard doing?
Don Hubbard's doing great.
We need to have him back on.
We need to have him back on. You know, he's so busy. The Journal News continues to be upgraded. I mean, it's a fantastic paper. Every issue the next week looks better than the next. Yeah. It's going to take over from the Enquirer after the Enquirer goes out of business.
The Enquirer.
You know, when I am completely vindicated, I wonder if the Enquirer is going to have a headline that says, Deters vindicated.
Never happened.
It'll be interesting, won't it? It'll be interesting. They were so looking forward to my fall, and when it didn't happen, they're like, oh, well.
The headline will
read, story.
The headline will read, Deters says he's vindicated.
Sensible Don there is a one-trick pony, David Lewis, who's a pro-lifer running against John Boehner. And he's running these pro-life commercials saying that Boehner has blood on his hands because he could have defunded Planned Parenthood. And he shows aborted babies, so forth and so on. And I am as pro-life as they come.
You are.
But I think it's inappropriate to show aborted babies on television commercials because there are young people that watch these things. And I know you can say, well, everybody ought to know about it. Well, come on.
I'm an old people, and I don't want to watch that. The signs that you see on the street, I think that should not be allowed. Even me think that should not be allowed when I think everybody, but you can't turn it off. You have to walk right through this garbage. It should not be allowed on the street.
Now, I have to admit, I find it humorous that somebody's running against Boehner, giving him a raise. Of course, Boehner's raising all this money just because he's a great state rep.
Now, Boehner
or congressional representative, not the fact that he's the speaker.
He could counter with commercials of a woman giving birth.
No, that's even worse.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I was the first time in the delivery, I almost fell over.
That'll teach him.
Oh.
No, you know what? That was beautiful, man.
It's a beautiful thing.
That was a beautiful
It's amazing
thing.
how everything snaps back.
I can't believe you said that.
Let's go to the economy.
Please hurry up.
Sensible Don, unemployment they claim went down to 8.3%. I don't buy it because of like 1 million people decided they're not going to work anymore. So how does this work? How do they say, oh, unemployment's going down when people aren't working anymore?
It's their numbers. They control them like they want to control them.
And you can, I'll tell you what, you can say whatever you want about numbers. The truth's in the pudding.
Always.
You go out there and talk to people in the community. A, people are still looking for jobs. Number two, people are underemployed. They're working jobs they wish they didn't have to work. 3, they're underpaid. Nobody's out there getting salary increases because, you know, of a supply and demand situation. So the employment picture is much worse than just an 8.3 alleged unemployment number, which is poppycock.
And I bet you there are a lot of people working under the table, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Getting that unemployment, working under the table.
Which is a good thing to do.
Or maybe the unemployment ran out and they just, okay, they're doing this.
Let me read from you from the Wall Street Journal a little bit of information, so I figure this will help you out a little bit, understand what's going on in the economy. In a long-awaited surge of hiring, yeah, right, companies added 243,000 jobs in January across the economy, up and down the pay scale, and far more than just about anyone expected. Unemployment fell to 8.3%, the lowest in 3 years. The job growth was the fastest since last March and April. Before that, the last month with strong hiring, excluding months skewered by temporary census jobs, was March 2006. The unemployment rate came down by 2 notches from December. It has fallen 5 months in a row, the first time that has happened since 1994, 2 economic booms and 2 recessions ago. On Wall Street, where investors had already driven stocks to their best start in 15 years because of optimism about the economy, the jobs report triggered a spasm of buying. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 156 points in a second-best day showing this year and finished today at 12,862. But just wait till something happens in Europe and it'll come crashing down again. Money poured out of bonds, which are considered less risky than stocks, and bonds yields rose. The job gains in January were widespread in the professional services category, which includes high-paying jobs like architects, accountants, and engineers, added 70,000 jobs. I can tell you right now, the legal business, they still aren't hiring. Manufacturing added 50,000 jobs, the most in a year, and the beleaguered construction industry added 21,000. Its second straight month. Well, maybe because there's been no winter. The leisure and hospitality industry, which includes restaurant and hotels. Really? Did you all know the leisure and hospitality industry included restaurants and hotels?
Figured it out.
Added 44,000 jobs. Governments cut 14,000 jobs. Good. The 243,000 jobs added far exceeded the estimate of economists. I always like when they give these estimates. What the hell do they do these estimates on?
Whatever they want to do it on.
Sensible Don, I say the economy still sucks.
They hiring in transportation. Truck drivers, bus drivers, they begging for them.
Yeah, but you can't get qualified because of all the new rules.
Well, guess what? You can't be a dope addict. You can't have a criminal record.
You can't be. How come you can't be a dope addict?
Because they afraid you gonna tear something up.
Here's something on
and then they hire you to beat them up. Here's
something on Facebook. For all the huge numbers in Facebook's IPO, a surprisingly small figure stands out: $4.39. The amount the site generated per user. This is interesting because Yahoo and AOL do $7 and $10 respectively, and Google $30 or more. Ooh. They say once Facebook goes public, the challenge is going to be how do they make money?
That's the question I asked you Friday. How do they make money?
And I figured that out. Well,
Figure it out.
I heard a news item about that over the weekend. What they do is, okay, you're on Facebook. Eric Deters, attorney. You mentioned that you went to this restaurant or that you saw this movie. Well, that information goes to people, like, for example, that are interested. Okay, he likes to go to restaurants. Let's send him information on a Diners Club card or this, that, and the other. They gather your information based on your personal likes and different sites and things like that, and then they sell your information to advertisers or marketing people. And that's how they're making their money.
Isn't that illegal?
No.
They can't give out your information?
Yeah, they mine that privacy, baby.
Yes.
By the way, speaking of Facebook, I've hooked up with Lori Taylor, who used to be in here till she was banned. But Lori Taylor and I, we're doing social networking together, and for like $995 a month, what we're doing, Sensible Don, is your business. We let you into our Bulldog Syndicate, we're calling it, which means that you get to market and do your Facebook, you're linked in with everybody else in the group. So, for example, somebody coming into our group, let's say you sell carpet.
Right.
You're a carpet company. You come in, you're going to be connected in to all of my 25,000 Facebook friends. How do you like that?
People.
How do you like that?
Access to people.
In other words, you're not, and what happens is Lori's company keeps your Facebook page fresh. It's a pretty good idea, Sensible Don.
Any new ideas you come up with?
I'm getting into the social networking business.
Sounds like
I don't have enough to do.
No, you
There's
don't.
Steve Jarnicki. Now, he's somebody that does good radio around here. They ought to let him do sports from 5 to 7.
You know what? He actually will be doing sports tomorrow night. Simon Kenton will be at, I have the information right here, Campbell County. Coach's show starts at 7:06.
I admire his loyalty to Simon Kenton, but it'll be interesting to see next year in football, does he continue to be a sadomasochist and do Simon Kenton football games?
That bad?
If he does, he'll be the bright spot.
Jeez, it's bad. Next year will be bad, too. Ever since my son Parker's class left, it's been downhill.
Oh, they got
the stars of Chad Lawrence and Austin Baldwin.
They're kicking it in basketball.
Zach Carroll, Parker Deters, DJ Robbie, and on and on and on. It's all falling off. They are doing better in basketball.
17-7.
But you know what, though? Man, they won't go nowhere.
Oh, come on now. Where's your team spirit?
Yeah,
Go, rah-rah.
It's my local school, but it's called coaching.
Beating up on your son's team right there.
I make you know what? You may not realize this, but I actually did Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
No, you didn't.
No, actually, I didn't. I read the book.
You didn't like it, did you?
I didn't do the program. I'm like, yeah, right. You know what's so funny about Hunky Dory? I'm going to bring in, for show and tell tomorrow, I'm going to bring in the Dale Carnegie points, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it cracks me up because it's kind of like in my business, like, I got to sue somebody.
Right.
Well, guess what? I'm not going to make a friend.
Not at all.
Well, I'm not going to sue this. I mean, if a lawyer practiced this, they'd be broke.
That's right. Absolutely.
You can't make everybody happy, guys.
Don't even try.
So I'm not worried about Shanna and Jamie and Rob and their stupid rules.
You sure are.
No food in the studio. I think I'm going to bring in a bucket of food tomorrow and leave it out.
Oh.
Smelly spinach. Spinach stinks, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Let's bring in some rotten spinach.
You had a nice spinach and artichoke dip last night at this party. It was really good.
Well, we return more superbity on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. While we're bashing the radio station.
What you good at?
You know what I'm holding in my hand right here?
I'm listening.
I'm holding a list of 65 prospective advertisers that I made up for Patty Euclid and Jamie Schloy. So when they complain if I miss a program director's meeting, I'm going to say, would you rather me attend a useless meeting or give you a list of 75 prospects for advertising? And I know what Jamie Schloy's going to say.
I know exactly what he's going to say. Yes, I do. I got to answer.
And another thing is, Shanna, I want to tell you about Shanna. She might do really good commercials with TC.
She's really good.
But why is she so obsessed with what I do in the garbage can? Whether I spit, hawker, put spaghetti in a garbage can is for putting such things in a garbage can. I'm telling you right now, I'm about ready to resign.
Resign? Go where?
She has to clean it.
I'm not going to go. I'm just going to resign from radio. Like I'm going to resign for love. See, I'm going to be just like Edward. I'm going to give up the throne.
Going to give up that touchdown.
Give up the throne.
The throne.
I'll be like Greg Cook. It'll be what could have been.
I want to compare you with somebody.
Remember the Bulldog? Man, he could have been the next Rush Limbaugh, and he just walked away because that little radio station became anal retentive.
Never give up the throne until you've started a movement.
I have a movement. It's called a nation.
I got to compare you with somebody in history.
Who?
General George Armstrong Custer. I mean, he was hard on everybody around here, but he did not follow his own rules.
Successful.
Are you saying that I'm going to have?
That's why he ended up at the little bighorn with a hole in his head.
You think I'm going to have a little bighorn?
Yes, you are. Or Waterloo.
Waterloo. Hey, but Napoleon conquered the world before he had his Waterloo.
And he ended up in Alba.
He was remembered.
Yes, he was.
Do you know that the coroner said he had a small, real small willy whacker?
Yes, he did.
Says a lot, doesn't it?
That's why he couldn't hold on to, what's her name, Josephine?
Josephine. No wonder Josephine didn't wait for him to come back.
Yeah, you go to Russia and fight this war. I'm going to enjoy myself here.
But he saved a bunch of money on his car insurance.
Guess who's coming to town, Sensible Don, tomorrow?
Who?
Newt, I won't give up Gingrich.
Will he be here in the studio?
Is coming to town, Cincinnati. Hey, Newt, if you're listening, come to Real Talk 1160. We'll make fun of you.
We got
Bring donuts.
We got a mic for you.
Bring donuts.
We got a mic for you.
And where's Dinkle at? Dinkle's supposed to call in to give us his observation about the Super Bowl. Do we hear from Dinkle? No.
Did he have a party last night?
513-579-1160, Dinkle, if you forgot the number.
He was knocked out during the second and third quarters.
513-579-1160. Yeah, he got knocked out when he played in the Super Bowl in the second quarter. Dink probably got knocked out before the game started.
But wasn't that a great story that he was telling some great stories?
He told some great stories. Did you hear those great stories that Picaro and those guys had? No.
Here we go.
Phone's ringing. Wonder who that could be.
The problem is they had a bingo cheerleader.
Oh, give me a break. Let me tell you something, Sensible Don. I sponsored the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
You know, at Bulldogs and all that stuff.
Right.
It was a waste of money. Nobody cares. We would have
Dick on the phone.
We would have Bengal events down at Bulldogs. The only people there were the Bengals and their boyfriends.
We got Dick.
They had boyfriends?
Nobody cares about the Bengals.
They had boyfriends?
I'm being serious. Nobody cares. What they do care about is people like Tom Dinkle who played in the game. Hey,
Bulldog, I had a flashback. I got knocked out and I forgot to call. Sorry, man.
Well, Tom Dinkle, I just want to let you know that you gave us radio superbity on Friday. Give us your analysis of the game that was yesterday.
Well, it started out crappy. I mean, I was
boring.
I was like, oh my God, another Super Bowl flop. But then, two excellent quarterbacks. I mean, then all of a sudden I was like, wow, these guys are both perfect.
Yeah, Brady, 16 straight passes in a row.
You know, and Manning the same way. I mean, these guys were threading the needle. I saw maybe two or three. Well, Eli threw a couple of knuckleballs. I don't know what the hell happened a couple of times. But other than that, passes were phenomenal. And I don't know, didn't you even find yourself? I was hoping Chad was going to catch the game winner.
I was too. At least he caught one.
Yeah, and that's.
But I was when they threw that down there at the end of the field, it would have been hilarious if Chad caught the tip. In fact, Gronkowski almost caught it.
He did. Just one step.
I don't know, they can talk about all the dances in the world, but tell me Chad would have had one for the Super Bowl, that's for sure.
He would have had one.
All in all, just another. It's a wild card team again wins the Super Bowl. It's amazing how these teams just kind of like the Giants just kind of eke their way in, and then boy they get on that streak. What we talked about last Friday,
right,
Eric, was the fact that this team was the hot team coming in. And
they did the same thing in 2007. They got hot.
So, all in all, I think it was an excellent game.
You know what, Dinkle? It was a great game. Come on, it goes down to the final pass, Hail Mary. But you know what, Dinkle? When was the last great Super Bowl team? I'm telling you, this team, that's not a great team. Green Bay wasn't a great team. The Saints weren't a great team. The Steelers weren't a great team. I mean, you get to go back probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years when we had a great team win the Super Bowl. It used to be great teams won the Super Bowl. Now, great teams don't necessarily win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. You look at, you talk about the Giants right now. Give me, 5 Pro Bowlers.
Right.
You got Eli Manning. You might have a defensive lineman or two, but nobody that really just stands out. Like, okay, I know you've been pointing this towards your Dallas Cowboys, where you had what they call the Three Stooges, like you guys, or
right?
You had Michael Irvin. They had Troy Aikman. They had Emmitt Smith. When you got stars like that, or even losers,
Deion Sanders, they were all on the same team.
Teams like Jim Kelly and
You're right.
Thurman Thomas. I mean, teams that were just loaded top to bottom with great players. Which I think then you can look at the coaches and say, well, boy, at least these coaches really had it together.
And I tell you right now, for the Giants to defeat Belichick and Brady, who are no doubt the best coach and the best quarterback in the league, is an incredible accomplishment. They've beaten them twice. And how about this, too? When you talk about greatness and great players and everything else, the Giants, they were last in rushing offense. Dead last in rushing. You got to run the ball and stop the run to win the Super Bowl. Heck, and the Patriots' defense was lousy, and they made it to the Super Bowl. There's no more rules anymore.
No offense to Doug Pelfrey, I'm so happy that it didn't come down to a kicker winning or losing the ball game.
You know what? Everybody was upset about Bradshaw running it in there, but I was saying, you know what? There are so many things that can happen on a field goal. It can be blocked. You can have a bad snap. You could have a miss. You know what? I think I would rather him score a touchdown and let Brady have to score a touchdown, not a field goal. If they just had to kick a field goal, it would be like, oh, my God, it's going to happen. But you know what? It was funny because he was shocked that he had daylight. It was like, what? He didn't know what to do.
He turned around and he forgot. Gravity took a hold of him. Gravity just pulled his big old butt down across the end zone.
You know what though? That was the right play by the Patriots. Why not have Brady with one timeout and 58 minutes left? It was the right move. And in fact, if you noticed, to the first two passes he threw, guys dropped them. But the reality is that more teams ought to do that. I always crack up when it's like, come on, guys, if they kick a field goal, there's going to be no time left. Let them score and take the ball. I admire Belichick's decision.
Oh, no doubt about it, because you got to give her offense a chance to win the ball game, and especially a guy like Tom Brady who has the capability to win the ball game.
Exactly.
He had 2 timeouts. He had a lot of things going in his favor, but just the Giant defense once again. They performed all day long when they had to.
Right.
And, the New England defense performed all day long when they had to.
Yeah, I mean, come on, 21-17 with those two offenses, not bad.
Absolutely. And the way both quarterbacks were throwing the ball, phenomenal completion percentages, yet the final scores you stayed at 21-17. So I think America got its money's worth, but and obviously Indianapolis did a great job with the Super Bowl. I can't wait for a lot of my friends who went up there. I want to hear some of the good and the bad stories,
Right. Brady threw one pick. I misspoke before, but there was only one turnover. But but you know what? Penalty sure did hurt the Patriots, from the safety call to they had a fumble. Yeah. They had a fumble and they had too many men on the field.
Twice.
Oh, God.
After 18 games, they still screwing it up.
That doesn't have a belt. That's not like a Belichick team.
Yeah, that's for sure. I forgot about the 2 fumbles that the Giants recovered their own fumble. Right. Otherwise, New England would have had a short field to go in and score.
Right. Any final comments? Because we're coming up on a break, Dinkle. I guess I got to ask you this: what do you think about Madonna?
I was looking for some old school Madonna. I'm kind of like,
yeah.
I wanted some of her top hits
from the
skanky
stuff,
the '80s
stuff,
the
skanky stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't want all the. A friend of mine was reading a lot of tweets of it that were being tweeted afterwards, and they say she kind of draws the gaze. But I thought the show overall was pretty good. I mean, like I said, I want to see Madonna put away the pumps. She had them spiked heels, but get out there and do some energy, some high energy stuff.
And how come we can't have Clint Eastwood do a Cincinnati commercial?
Oh, was that awesome?
That was awesome.
But I was waiting for him to break out and show a Ford Torino.
Come on, Clint. We want you. Dinkle, thanks for calling in, buddy. You're the best.
Guys.
All right,
we'll
Tom Dinkle. Oh, man, he's the best.
No doubt about that.
We come back. We'll have more Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160.
Make sure you join Michael Savage today at noon, followed by Dennis Miller at 3 today on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Sensible Don. Tom Dinkle was good Friday, and he was good today.
Absolutely. He does a good job. Dink is the sports around here.
Yeah, baby. How about this? These are some doomsayers from New York Times Magazine, Sensible Don. One dude, his name is Peter Schiff. His occupation is chief executive of the Euro-Pacific Capital. He says $15 trillion of national debt and an interest rate that is bound to rise. Prediction: I think Americans are going to be sewing clothes rather than buying them. Ouch.
You think so?
Wow. Robert Wiedemer, managing director, Absolute Investment Management. His big concern: from 1980 to 2000, the Dow rose by 1,000%, while GDP rose by 30%. Expect 50% unemployment when the government debt and dollar bubbles burst.
It has to burst.
Wow.
It has 50%.
Tim Quinlan, economist, Wells Fargo. Consumer credit helped fuel the holiday shopping season. Now come the credit card bills. I want to get a tattoo that says slow growth, but no double dip recession.
I'll tell you what.
I say no. I say absolutely no tattoos.
None at all?
Tattoos on a woman, not good.
Oh,
not good.
These guys branding themselves.
Toenail polish and tattoos.
It's a beautiful body. Leave it alone.
Steve Hank. Oh, and how about belly button piercings? Why?
Tongue, lip,
why?
Nose, eyes.
Steve Hankey, professor at Johns Hopkins University. His concern: money supply growth is anemic at about 1%. His prediction: 50% chance that we'll be in a recession by the middle of 2012.
Agreed.
Barack Obama says all's right with the world. He says all's right with the world, Sensible Don.
Guess what? When we hit that 50% number of unemployment, that will show or bring about the demise of this country.
What do you think about that spinach that I cracked open? It smells pretty bad, doesn't it?
Oh,
I had to dump it in the garbage can.
Again?
Yeah. I'll leave it in the garbage can for Shanna to clean up.
Why do you pick at Shanna? What did Shanna do to you to bring on all this negative energy?
I don't know. You know what my wife just texted me?
And?
Your wife has a tattoo, and so do all your children. I didn't say I was happy about it. I got a tattoo too.
Wait a minute.
Although, you know what? I have to. It's hard to begrudge some of the tattoos.
Yes.
My wife has a tattoo on her foot from a line from the last letter that Corey wrote her.
Okay.
So you can understand that.
You have
How
to.
do I? You can't object to that.
You can't say anything.
My son has a tattoo of his mom.
Right.
It's hard to object to that, and he's got a couple other sayings. Let me see. What's Erica have? I don't understand some of Erica's tattoos. But I still prefer nobody with. Riley does not have a tattoo. But you know what? I think she was a week old. She got her ears pierced.
She got a hole in there.
I tell you what, they paint her nails. Oh my God.
Do they?
No, they better not. I keep waiting for that.
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
Riley lives a life, I tell you right now. She's over at our house now.
Oh, waiting for you to show.
I'll go home and see her. Her pop. She brightens up when she sees me, Don.
Have you taken her swimming yet in the pool?
Have I taken her swimming?
Yeah.
No. But she's been swimming.
Yeah.
Charlie Ann, my daughter, takes Riley everywhere. She takes her to the Children's Museum.
Right.
She takes her to the indoor pool over at Silver Lake. She takes her to the aquarium. She took her to a cheerleading competition Saturday night.
Which is good.
I mean, Riley's like about town.
Yeah, that's right. Hanging out.
She'll have more friends than anybody.
And a brand new car from my grandpa.
I got some legal news, Sensible Don, on some recalls. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has announced a recall of more than 1 million HP fax machines in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico due to fire and burn hazards.
Wait.
The agency said the machines can overheat due to electrical issues within. They've had 7 reports of fax machines overheating and catching fire.
Well, they sold 1 million before they found out the thing was burning up.
I don't know.
the dishwashers are burning up, too.
Now, here is a more important issue. Since I know my wife's listening and she's talking about tattoos, why don't we talk about black fingernail polish on toenails?
Goodness.
We'll see what she texts us now.
It's toenail polish. True love.
Her toes are so cute when there's no black toenail polish on them, Don.
I got a suggestion.
What?
You know, they got the fingernail polish removed. When she sleeps, take it off.
There you go.
She take it out. She thinks you're just playing with her feet.
Now, what's going to happen one day when Michael Savage and the Westwood One radio network calls and says, we're going to syndicate your show. You run home with the big news. You tell your wife, and she doesn't like the idea. And then it's black toenail polish. Then what do we do?
I'm going to be like King Edward. I'm going to give it all up.
Dude.
I'm going to give it all up.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, you're right.
We got to work on him, Don.
A Texas woman, now this is funny. It's kind of sad, but funny. A Texas woman has filed a lawsuit against the manufacturer of the contraceptive NuvaRing, claiming she developed a deep vein thrombosis after only a month of use. A recent study by the FDA found that the NuvaRing was associated with a significantly higher risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, and pulmonary embolism relative to standard low-dose estrogen birth control pills. The woman is seeking $10 million in damages. If you use a NuvaRing, please call me.
So what does that mean? Did she get pregnant?
I don't know. But what the hell is a NuvaRing? I've never heard of a NuvaRing.
Isn't it that plastic ring that they put wherever they put it, and it put pressure?
I've never heard of it.
It puts pressure. Well, why don't you have one of those commercials on TV?
Oh, it's like a blocker. It's a blocker, isn't it?
We could sponsor one?
Yeah, and people, when the things go bad.
Get your NuvaRing today. I need to promote my buddy Ben Marine. He's on the legal team arguing a case in the Supreme Court against GMAC foreclosures. GMAC, they're part of those
robo-closures?
These affidavits that they signed saying, they had no idea what the hell they were signing.
Let's stamp them all.
GMC was sanctioned in Florida for their conduct. And now in Ohio, there's lawsuits against GMAC. It never ends, does it, Sensible Don?
That kind of money.
Corporations just keep doing what they can get away with.
Why shouldn't they?
Day after day.
They got the money to go to court.
It's only lawyers like me that keep them honest. Here's an update from BP. Now, this is from a BP ad, but I thought it was interesting. They set aside $20 billion to help fund claims as well as economic and environmental restoration. By the way, usually when I sue a big company, they fight you like hell. I say good for BP. They put up the money. All the lawyers didn't know what the hell they do. Oh, well, wait a minute. They put up the money? So the lawyers wanted attorney fees for representing people when BP's already put up the money.
The money's there.
Here, we'll help you process that claim. What are you talking about?
Sign the papers and pick up your money.
At 33%? I got to process your claim for 10% of that.
Oh,
they've already put up the money.
Money's right there.
They're paying for cleanup costs. They've established a $500 million fund for scientists to study the oil spill response technology in wildlife environment. Thousands of environmental samples from across the Gulf have been analyzed by independent labs. The Gulf beaches and waters are open, and the economy is showing progress in 2011 and 2012. It's been one of their best seasons ever.
And they paying for a ton of commercials.
You're right.
Ton of commercials. Let me ask you something.
So I say BP's doing fine.
I got to ask the lawyer this. Lawyer Deters.
Yes.
Do you think Ryan Whitman will get a fourth trial? Your opinion?
No.
Why not? I didn't think he'd get the third one. But the fourth trial means he didn't get proper representation. He said the lawyer screwed up this time.
Well, you know what the bottom line is that he had so many chances. The court of appeals judge are going to say, are you kidding me?
Please.
Are you 4 chances? You know, he messed up the first trial, Don.
Right.
The first trial, he should have taken the stand and testified.
Told the story.
But no. Oh, by the way, this is new. I'm representing a teacher now from Graves County. Her name is Alex Knowles, and she is falsely accused of having sex with a teenage student, and she wants to go public and defend herself.
Right.
And she is paying me, her and her husband are paying me to represent her. Long distance. How do you like that, Don? All the way from Western Kentucky and Graves County, they need the Bulldog for justice.
Yeah. If I'm not guilty, I'm going to scream until you lock me up.
Exactly. Her prior lawyer would say, no, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't testify preliminary. No, don't testify grand jury. You know why? Get indicted, and then we'll have to pay more money for a lawyer.
That's right.
He kept asking for more money, more money, more money. Lawyers are jackwagons.
Are they?
They're jackwagons.
Oh, part of that.
Like
profession.
I always say, if you don't hire me, you're a fool.
You got that right. You got that right.
Is that too much self-promotion there, TC?
No, not at all. I just want to know one thing.
I'll tell you 2 things.
I want to know how effective it was when everybody in the world saw this guy drinking from that pitcher of green water.
I don't know.
Man, that was huge.
You know what? Since my wife has texted me during the show, I think there's hope that we'll get her on one day.
You think so?
That was something.
Can you imagine the ratings if she'd come on?
I imagine the pancakes he might bring.
Every dog has their day. Hope tomorrow's yours. We'll be back tomorrow with Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160. Spaghetti in the garbage can.
Can he survive?